I mean,
So,
but what I don't understand is, right? Like, okay, so the way that I look at this is obviously Dean's just being a twat, right? Dean's just like.
But the thing is,
Go
I
on.
had a conversation with Denzel about this. Is that the thing is, he's gonna keep acting like this because people keep making excuses for him to act like this.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, right?
Yeah, and Patar sat there and said that he's on the same level of MDMA as James is, but yet is anybody acting like he is, and is anybody treating him like he is?
Well, okay, well, hear me out. So Dean's a cunt, right? Dean always has been a cunt, and Dean will always be a cunt. Dean has this whole thing in his head that is, there's only like very few people that he quote unquote respects, which is literally like, let's be honest, Mr. K and Tommy T, right? Anyone else, he will. Oh, and SK, but that's because. Well, I mean, that's. I don't even know if that's the respect level at this point. I think they're giving each other reach arounds, if you want to ask me, but we won't get into that. That's a whole different story. Anyway, like Dean being Dean is like. He's a cunt, and he needs to be told he's a cunt. But the problem is, he won't listen to anyone, unless it's one of those two people. Now, the bigger problem here, though, the bigger picture is, why the fuck is... Because I'm guessing other people were there, right? So probably what, Patar, Matt, SK, I don't know.
I'm guessing nobody else said
So
anything.
why the fuck... So the bigger problem is, why the fuck is Patar not telling Dean... One, to shut the fuck up because he's already said, hey, I said she's fine to be here. And two, why are they letting, in their eyes, Dean treat this random girl like that? Like, as far as they're concerned, regardless of whether or not it's your cousin, this is just some random girl who's chilling, hanging out, not really doing anything. Why are they allowing Dean to just treat this random girl like that? Like a piece of shit?
That's what I said to Denzel. That's what I said to Denzel. The thing is, I had a long talking to Denzel, and I said that basically, in order for, and I'll be on it, I see the same cycle happening over and over again. It's like a rinse repeat cycle with the Mandem. You know what I mean?
Can you buy me a radio real quick so we'll start this conversation?
It's just one of those things where I basically said that I'm gonna have a talk with Patar, and I want everybody to be on the same page, and I don't want to be the one person that sits there and says,
it's fine.
Oh, well,
go get the radio. Go get the radio. It's okay.
Let me go get.
Dane is definitely good at creating spicy RP, that's for sure. What the fuck?
Okay, there's no radios there. We have to go to the Denzel's place.
Okay. So just
I basically said to Denzel, like Denzel and I had a really long talk about how things should be in the Mandem and how things should need to change. And the thing is, it starts out with how Patar says, you know, we say things that are gonna happen, and they're amazing. They sound great, but then nobody.
So the problem is, there's a few problems. So the problem is, number one, remember when I brought up at the last meeting and I said, are we a gang or are we a family? And everyone sat there going, it doesn't matter what we are. Bullshit.
Yeah.
It does matter what we are. No, just hear me out, Saint. Just listen, please. The reason it matters is because we treat each other like a family. And whether you, Denzel, James, Matt, Patar, whether any of you ask me to do something, for not 1 second do I think in my head, oh, my leader is asking me to do something. Oh, a chained member is asking me to do something. The reason that I do something is because I think to myself, oh, a friend, a family member is asking me to do something for them. I don't think about the hierarchy or the chains or the vest or any of that for 1 second, right?
Yeah.
So the reason it matters is because everybody treats each other like that. The chains, the vests, the quote-unquote hierarchy is irrelevant because nobody thinks about it. I know, but I'm trying to get this conversation out of the way before we go. I have to go and forget everything that I want to say. So, okay, just tell him we'll be 1 minute. Please, you want me to help you, don't you? Okay, so let me say what I'm trying to say, please.
Just me 1 more minute.
Like, the thing is, nobody respects each other because of hierarchy or because of vests or chains or anything. People respect each other because we're family and we're friends. And the reason I'm saying all this is because, let's be honest, everybody forgets that Dean left the gang to go to another gang, right? Dean left the Mandem and then came back as if nothing happened, and everyone had forgotten about it, not because he's a gang member, but because he's a friend. If people started treating each other like gang members and not just friends, that wouldn't have happened.